Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Packer Up, boys. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see I've got some fly spray in my hand. We're currently fighting a fly that's in here, and I just know if I don't sort it early on in the piece, it's going to mentally. It's almost like an early error in a game. You know, earlier in the game, my head's going to be off. I'm not going to be locked into Packer Up, boys. So I've got the fly spray. Hopefully, we land it. Tommy Bomb reckons he's just going to nail it out of the air like a fucking karate kid.
Yeah, I've had a few air swings.
Now, guys, quickly, we are back streaming tonight. That is right. For OGs, they'll be like, what, Beak? Many years ago, we used to jump on, react to some stuff, get in the chat. It is back tonight. I don't know if we'll do it every night. I just thought round one, Broncos v Panthers. It'd be a fun time to stream, interact with chat and all that good stuff. So that is tonight. Join us on YouTube, 7:55 or around then. And Hectic Fred is joining us. As I said, I don't know whether we'll do it every single week. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But we're back streaming, which has been, it just feels like, it almost feels strange to go back like to all those years ago. Like I remember we used to do some sick stuff where I would commentate Call of Duty matches against NRL players. So I remember Walshy was in it, like a few of the boys in that, and I commentated them like playing each other 1v1 in Call of Duty. So maybe we should get back into some of that content. And I actually also used to do Call of Duty stuff as myself as well. Oh, there it is again. Oh yeah, she slowed down. She slowed down. No, definitely slowed down.
Reckon?
Lost a meter of speed. She's lost a yard, that fly, absolutely. So anyway, tonight streaming. I don't know. It might be a one-off. It might not. But we're streaming tonight. And we'll see how it goes. Join me in chat. Might do some giveaways. I'm not sure. We'll just have a bit of fun. We'll absolutely be engaging with chat and watching the footy and watching the Broncos v Panthers. And it all's powered by Lontel, guys, the best internet in all the land. Matter of fact, it literally saved my sister the other day. She messaged me, goes, thank you so much for that studio internet because she needed to upload something really quickly and she got it done in the studio. So lontel.net.au. On top of all that, you can actually create your own code with Lontel. You log into your portal, create your code, give it to your mate. They get the 7-day free trial, and they also get $25 credit, and you get $50 either credit or straight cash. On top of all that, we are randomly giving $1,000 away to one lucky person. All you got to do is join. It's free to join Lontel. All you got to do is join, create your account, set your internet up. Totally free, best customer service in the business, and you have a chance to win $1,000 cash. Tommy Bomb, how you feeling, mate?
I'm good, Kempy. It's sort of that time of year where you are... Get it?
Is it there still?
Yeah, I just saw him crawling on the
Oh,
right.
you must have smoked it there.
I got it there, surely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. No, look, it's that time of year where you're not used to footy being on yet, so you sort of catch yourself on a Thursday or a Friday. So we're going, that's right, we're back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and you're thinking like, I wonder what I'm going to do tonight. Like, might go for a feed or whatever. And you're like, hang on a sec, I've got fucking 3 games of footy.
yeah, and it's sort of just, it's a beautiful time of year. But
Yeah.
I want to circle back. Who are some good like COD players that you remember?
COD
But
players,
the
I
NRL
remember.
boys.
Man, I honestly can't remember anymore. I don't even know who won. Maybe Herbie Farnworth won.
Was he decent?
I can't even. Sean Kepi used to be all right. Kepi?
Yeah.
Rabbitohs? I can't remember now.
Because Luai is a bit of a streamer of note.
But he's a
isn't he,
League
or
of Legends
gamer?
guy. He's a
League
Legends
of
guy,
Legends?
which I respect. I respect it because, like, Call of Duty, that's like mainstream stuff. That's
Yeah.
like every man and his dog plays Call of Duty. And it's actually, I think it's a dying franchise, just quietly. But League of Legends, that's deep in the depths. Like, if you're a League of Legends, you notoriously are the most toxic gamer in history. And ironically, League of Legends toxic players, very much like Jerome Luai on the rugby league field. Now, he's calmed it down a little bit, but League of Legends notoriously known for ruining people's mental health. So,
Right.
yeah, you're in the depths. If you're in the middle lane, I think it's called the jungle position of League of Legends. You're in the depths of toxicity on the internet. So it's no surprise, Luai, he loves it.
Yeah, right. Because that's one of your games that you sort of...
Not League of Legends, no.
You didn't play
That's what I
trade?
mean. Not even me. I didn't even get into League of Legends. I never got into the Dota kind of because League of Legends is a game that actually started as a mod for what was a mod for? Was it StarCraft? Yeah. So I think it was StarCraft, and a mod was created, and then it turned into an actual style of game, and that was called Dota. And I forgot what it's. Can you find out what Dota is? I can't believe I'm forgetting what the abbreviation is. And then League of Legends, I guess, copied that style of game and became essentially one of the biggest games in the world.
I caught none of that, but I love watching your neckbeard sort of come out in full flight. That was
it
beautiful.
come out at any time, honestly, at any time. But so yeah, Dota. There was a mod that was made for StarCraft, either StarCraft or Warcraft 3.
Yeah,
Maybe it was Warcraft 3.
Warcraft
Yeah,
3.
you know what? It's probably Warcraft 3 actually. Anyway, it was a mod, and it was like heroes that would battle each other. Got turned into Dota. Then League of Legends comes out, I'm pretty sure, and then Dota 2 came out. Heroes of the Storm came out, which is ironic because Blizzard made Hero of the Storm. But Blizzard also made Warcraft 3. And so there's an argument to be made that like Blizzard created the base for what became League of Legends, but then
awesome.
Hero of the Storm ended up getting shut down or something. It wasn't successful. So the people that essentially kind of originated that style of game, Dota, they don't really profit that much unless there's like some kind of legal case or whatever. But yeah, League of Legends, it's a big game, huge games, competitive as well, huge like $1 million prizes and shit like that too.
Similar to Blue Ant when they made Rugby League Live 4, by the sounds of it.
Mate, wasn't that one of the great shemozzles, eh?
Still got enough hours out of it.
How many hours do you reckon you play Rugby League 2025?
I have played. Look, game came out 2017 because there's a new one, and full transparency, I haven't played the new one yet.
Oh, so you didn't play this because that's what I was asking you. Did you
the
play
newest
new
one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. And I spoke to Winston Neville about it.
Oh, we've got her, son.
Did you get it?
Yeah, like she was hurting on the ground there, so she's done. She's done. Look,
Great
she's a
win to start the
battler. She's a
weekend.
battler. She's battling on the fly. Give her respect, mental toughness. Nah, trust me, don't worry.
Different one?
No, that's the same one, but it's on its last
Just
fucking
a matter
legs.
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Nah,
Last wings.
I spoke to Winston about the game, and he's obviously clocked up heaps of hours, and I just asked for his honest opinion. I was like, is it any different to the old one? He's like, look, the old one does the job, so I've just stuck with that. But
Okay, you're a loyal man.
yeah. So, and you know, Kurt Baptiste at 14 for the Roosters. It's just something that feels good about that. You know what I mean? Going back in the day and just sort of bring him on for friendly, get out early, under fatigue.
So this is 2017, so you're about to go into the back-to-back years as well.
Yes.
So Teddy's not at the Roosters yet.
Nah.
Teddy's still at Tigers.
Fullback, I believe, Michael Gordon
Oh, the Flash.
by default. Yeah.
Holy shit.
But that's sort of as far as my rugby league gaming experience goes. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. Also, don't forget Grumpy Coffee, guys, grumpycoffee.com.au. Let's just get straight into it because people want to know. They want to know. The Melbourne Storm defeat the Para Eels 52-4. And if you ever wanted to, I guess, be reminded that rugby league is a ruthless game and there is, it's not always a happy ending. I think the happy ending for a lot of people with everything that's gone on was Eels go down there, they break the streak, they get the win, everyone's cheering. But Melbourne Storm remind people why they are, I believe, the best sporting organisation in the country and absolutely bend the Eels over and smack their little bottoms.
Yeah, only person that got a happy ending last night was Craig Bellamy. That was, I was sitting there. I was pretty bullish that the Eels would break the streak. I wanted to be the guy that was on them when they broke the streak.
Yeah, okay.
5 minutes into the game, they go at Meany, and I was throwing chat to people before the game about that, going, they'll kick at Meany's on the wing, they'll put him under pressure. He drops the ball. I'm sort of sitting there thinking, like,
I'm a genius here.
Can I come for Chamus's job sort of thing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, fuck, I'll just get footy. And then they get absolutely fucking rolled. And my tail was between my legs. Unbelievable that the spine, I forget who I heard say it, but someone said that I was listening to after the game, might have even been the Roo. He was like, it's all been about who they don't have anymore versus who they've still got. We all sort of forgot about that, and that was probably the best way to put it. Like they did not miss a beat after the first 10 minutes.
They were fucking unbelievable, and how they ruthlessly targeted Pezzett. It was almost cruel. Like they were almost going, we know this guy inside out. We know what his weaknesses are. We know what his strengths are. And also, as well as like Pezzett was the one that helped lay on that first try.
Yeah.
And then they just went, we're running at you all night long, bruh. And you better be. And he just, unfortunately, just wasn't his night, Pezzett. It was not his night.
Yeah, well, he dug right in the line on that try, and Kelly ran a mad line. They both played a pretty key role in that try. But yeah, I think between the two of them, it was a tough night.
It was a tough night at the office, and like no one does better video than the Storm. And so, just what an incredible performance! Like they were up and about. Like to think that Storm side lost essentially 4 to 5 starters last year, and come out and play. Like I know they played extremely well last year, but this Eels side is not as bad as last year. To do that to the Eels, like I cannot believe it. It's like Harry Grant. What a performance! He had the ball on a string.
They I really like to. We all know how good of a runner he is, and his defense, whatever. But he was doing a lot more last night than I've seen him do in recent years, where he'd actually jump out inside 20 and start. He'd sort of start the shape where he'd actually run it. He'd bring someone under to start it, like that try that I believe it was the Moses Leo try.
How good's that bloke? Fuck,
Mate,
yeah.
he did such a good job too, just quickly on Penasini. Like, Penasini looked troubling early and he scrambled a couple of times to stop tries. And then after that, just sort of kept him on the DL. But there was a try that he scored where the whole spine essentially linked up to put him over, and it started with Grant jumping out. Like, I think won't shock me if he does a lot more of that this year.
Mate, he's he looked like he had the game on slow-mo, Harry Grant. Like, he looked like he makes it look easy, the decision to get out of dummy half. And also, he makes it look easy to get out of dummy half, hold the ball in two hands, and constantly tempt the defense to... Like, the amount of dummy halves we see get out, hold the ball in two hands, and they get the ball slapped out of their hand is, like, fucking infinite. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's so risky to do that, but he almost does it every play where you've got to worry about him running. Like, tell me a single other dummy half that nearly every play you have to watch him if he's going to run.
Yeah, I know, and I've seen in the week leading up to the game a bit of chat around him versus Smith. That's already starting to sort of happen. And I think when you think of Cameron Smith, you think of that sort of game management, playmaking, as opposed to Grant. The first thing people think of is that he's a runner and sort of that ball playing around the ruck that he's always been so good at. But to see him sort of jump out last night and actually run a bit of wider shape, I think that's something that Smith was more known for, and I'm keen to see him sort of do more of that. And that obviously comes off the back of being such a strong runner. Like, even that first try he scored where he's gone 30 metres, we've seen him do that before, but that second one, and I know the game was sort of gone at that point, but like, everyone knew he was running. Yeah. And there was just nothing that they could do.
The first one, like, I hate to be too harsh, but that was disgraceful defence.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I can't remember the last time I saw defence like that. Like, what? And I know Yongi his head's in the right space. He's trying to get off the line, give his outside men time to shut things down. But it's like, bro, that easy to get through. Like, that should never happen in NRL. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, it almost looked like a glitch, didn't it?
Like you were waiting for the fullback to tackle him, or at least try tackle him, and then you've got Katonga getting back. It's too late. You've got no communication. No one's filling in that wide A on the open side. And then you've got the A defender. Like, the A defender should never shoot out of the line. No. Never, ever, ever should the A defender be shooting out and not square. If anything, they should be shooting up square towards where the play the ball is and keeping their body like that. Like, Iongi was already turned out. Like, that should... Yeah. Anyway, it's just... Wow.
And, I think that actually happened a lot. There was a try that they scored on that Brian Kelly edge as well, where essentially... Well, obviously, there was a fair few tries on that edge, unfortunately for them, but there was one where... They were attacking the line. They ended up with like essentially a 5-on-3 with half the field, where none of the middles had sort of travelled.
Yep.
Back row gets caught at marker. None of the middles travelled to A, and then they just sort of left for dead there. And I think above all with Para, I still think that they will have a way better year. I know we're sort of in the depths of it right now, and it's hard to say that now, but there was still a lot of them that I think looked like a team that is used to being in the bottom four, if that makes sense. Like, they tried to play a bit too early. They ran the ball on last a few times early, which I thought they looked dangerous. Penasini almost scored off it. But if you're going to compete with teams like the Melbourne Storm, you've already had Joy kicking to a winger and forcing an error. Like, probably play the percentages a bit more.
Yeah. I think with the Eels, I do think they're going to have a better year. It's just one game. We know how quickly things can change. If I'm being brutally honest, and I hate to be this brutally honest, I could couch it, but it looked like a team that might have been reading the headlines about how good they're going.
Yeah.
It looked like a team that had forgotten how hard it is and how hard you've got to work to earn the right to win big games like that. Because, mate, that second half, I'll be honest, the Jersey deserve better than that second half, than what some people gave.
Yeah, and, I think also probably the worst thing that happened to them, I reckon in that first 5 minutes, I think they would have spoken a lot about trying to get at Meaney, put him under some kick pressure. I reckon they executed on that exactly how they would have expected. They had a man go to the bin, which is obviously far from ideal. And then they end up scoring off the back of executing on that. I reckon it probably happened a bit easy for them early, and they probably thought, fuck, we're on here.
That's the last thing they needed. Look, it happens to every team that, everyone expects to go poorly, goes really well. I don't know. It just felt like I was watching a team that expected things to come rather than earning it. Whereas I feel like at the back end of the last year, they earned everything. They realised that they need to earn every inch on the footy field. And so, like, I believe that, ironically, like, it's not the loss they needed. Absolutely, there's no way you want to lose like that ever. But if they ever needed a shot in the arm, at least it came in round one rather than, let's say they had a lighter opponent that they scrambled and got a quick 22-20 win over or whatever, and they kind of cover a few cracks. The silver lining here is Riles can use that for the rest of the season of, like, boys, this is how far away we are from the top tier.
Yeah. And everyone knows the stat around the 50, and it did seem like when the Storm was sitting on 46 points, it was almost like they were defending for their season. I said to Matty before, like, it was almost like it went up a level, you know? And then obviously it wasn't enough. Sewer crosses over late. But I do think if you were ever going to concede 50 points, at least it's the furthest possible time away from when it's going to matter at the back end, So yes, the team's never done it. Sorry, Eels fans, but if you ever were going to do it, at least you're the furthest possible point away from, the back end of the year when it'll matter.
But I got to say, like, rocking up after, such a good season last year, all the positivity and completing at 63%.
It's actually higher than I thought it would have been, to be honest.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Now, I wanted to get that all the way because I want to make it really clear. The ref is absolutely not the reason why the Melbourne Storm won the game. The Melbourne Storm was substantially better. The ref didn't make them drop the ball this many times. 63% completion rate. However, the reffing, especially in the first half, was like unacceptable. Unacceptably bad, in my opinion. I cannot believe, like there was one period, and maybe it was just purely because they were just so much faster. There was one period where the set restarts were 4-0 in favour of the Storm, and yet their average players ball speed was faster than the Eels. How does that work? Unless that's why they're getting the penalties, because they're just winning the ruck so much. But like 4-0 to start the game in set restarts. Look, the Hopgood 10 in the bin, I can live with it if I have to. Like, whatever. We're trying to protect the heads or whatever. But then later in the game, Yongi, not even to get a penalty, but he goes for a HIA.
That was really important too, because I think I missed the first, like, watching it live. I didn't even see the high contact initially until the replay, but I was like, oh, that's a crusher. Like, so there was a couple of things that happened in that tackle where you think, and I think the word we always use is consistency in footy, and it didn't make a lot of sense. Like, at least with that Hopgood one, I know it shouldn't, people think on paper it shouldn't matter what the outcome of a tackle is, but I think it does. Like,
I can live with that, Yeah, okay, was it a head clash? Like, listen, if you start getting too nitpicky with that, like, you're going to see some absolute howlers. I think that one you kind of just look at and you go, head clash, shoulder a bit. Look, the guy's flatlined.
That's the thing. Like, they lose Alec McDonald for the game. It's more than reasonable to me that they lose Hopgood for 10 minutes. At least he's going to come back.
And look, there's going to be comments already, or at least there's people thinking right now, come on, it's got to be this, just the law. I promise you, yes, of course, in a perfect world, the outcome should not affect the incident.
Agreed, yeah.
But we are human beings. You're never going to be able to go, okay, this guy got up and played the ball straight away and he's fine. And this guy's eyes are rolling in the back of his head.
But it's the same tackle.
But it's the same. Like, even if it was technically the same tackle, you're never going to beat the human element of this guy literally is flatlined. Like, obviously not dead, but he is out.
Yeah, that was one of the worst I've seen, to be
honest.
In
a long time. You're not going to beat that human factor. So, although in a perfect world we want one law that fits all and all that kind of stuff, it's just not going to be the case. But yeah, I thought there was one I put up in my story because I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Oh, far out. Oh, this is going to,
Bro, that is disgraceful video reffing. That is disgraceful video reffing. Explain to me how... So not only did they get the call wrong on the run, which, you know what, I can always cop that. I'm not going to blame the ref for that, even though I clearly saw it as a knockback. When it's on the run, I'll just go like, sweet, okay, you get a few of them a game, even though we got quite a few of them.
Yeah.
For the video ref to play that replay and say the ball continued to travel forward, as my eyes watched it not travel forward, is outrageous, and he should not be doing a video ref for at least a few weeks. And like some people try to mess with you, oh, it hit the guy's hand. You can see his arms literally going to pass the ball back. Like, what do you mean it hit the attacker's arm, the defender's arm?
But this is what I hate about, because like you said, in the moment, I can live with it.
Yeah.
Human error, they're gassed. Like, the referees are covering so much ground, which a lot of the time people don't even talk about the fact that they're under fatigue too, right? But to hear the bloke say that it travels towards the goal line, you know how they described that towards the goal line? I was like, you can't possibly believe that. Like, you are the only person watching this game right now that is even thinking that. Like, it was just common sense. No, it's not.
Like, you know, I could have kind of lived with if he said it went forward into the defender or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you seeing some angle that I don't see, but how can you possibly say that continues to go forward? Like, what am I looking at?
But this is what the NRL need to understand, right? And like with the refs, like most NRL fans, they will give grace to a ref in the moment.
Yeah.
Given we've got the bunker, if they're going to step in, just like no one, I don't know if they think that it's going to contradict the referee or look bad on the referee, and therefore they try and stick with him sometimes. Make the right call. Like you've got the slow-mo, you've got the replays, you've got the time, and you're fresh. Just call it how it is. Like they did the exact same thing about the Setu to escort line in that game with Gutho. Like he goes, you can see he runs the escort line. No, he doesn't. You slow it down, it's more fucking obvious.
Yeah, like what's he not allowed to run back to the ball now? Like it's a chip in his own in goal. Like is he supposed to stop and just like be like, okay, everyone else and that's the thing. Like most people can cop the 50-50 calls that don't go your way, but every single call was going against the Eels, at least at the start of the game. Like everything that could was. I just thought it was really poor reffing, and I know I want to make it extremely clear. Absolutely, they did not play. They did not deserve to be anywhere near winning that game. The Eels, they were that poor. But mate, the reffing was so bad, and the video ref call for that knock on. Like, Matty, what are your thoughts, mate? Like,
I just want to make a comment about the 6 agains because I was going for Para, just like you were, because I thought they'd win. And then when Storm kept getting 6 again, I was getting more pissed off. But then after the game, I sat back and reflected. I was like, I have no idea if they were 6 agains or not. Because the NRL they've changed this rule. Now there's more 6 agains.
Yeah.
We're just going to see these 6 agains and we're never going to know if they like there's every chance that Storm just dominated the ruck and Parramatta were gassed and the 6 agains were true, but we're never going to know that. Yeah. And that's going to be a theme for this whole season. Like more 6 agains is driving me insane.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like to have an average faster play the ball speed and also 4 in a row 6 again penalties. I don't like one of their first tries was because they went 6 again, try. Just like I don't know. It was really, really bad reffing.
To Matty's point though, you know, there is an assumption that you can make where you go, well, Grant's that good around the ruck. Maybe he's just picking them apart.
Maybe.
He's getting guys that aren't square, whatever. But it would be nice to know that. And I don't know if it's as simple as can you mic the ref up so that he sort of just tells you why in the moment. Like that, even that would help, I think, some fans. But then
like the 4-0, I can kind of be like, okay, maybe they're just dominating the ruck, dominating the ruck. But then you get on top of that knock-on call. As an Eels fan, you were sitting there going, bro, I'll cop the 4-6 again if I have to. They're just so dominant. But then that knock-on call and then the Iongi call later in the game where it's like, so my player has to go off for a HIA. He got head high and crushed it.
Oh.
What the fuck? It's just like, bro. Anyway, let's get back to the good performance from the Storm though. Mate, I thought their edge back rollers were fucking unbelievable. Like, Joe Chan, like I know he's had a bit of a false start. Like he came in, went really well. I think he was out again. Then he went really well again last year. Then he came out injury. Mate, he was a monster on the edge, Joe Chan. Yeah, I thought he was phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal on the edge.
He was busy all night, eh? Like just
big, powerful,
so
strong.
Well,
like
carried well.
It was like 11 line breaks to 2 or something, or 3.
Yeah.
Like they just tore them apart every single time they were in the ball nearly.
You could tell when he got that shot on Pezzett as well.
Oh.
It meant something. He got up and he was happy with his own work there. Yeah, he was great. Also, the debutant as well, Cooper.
Cooper Clark.
Mate, he was
big boy. He was 140 kilos when he rocked up the Storm.
I read that before. I couldn't believe it. Like, what an effort to sort of trim down. And I've never seen anyone go so close to scoring a try on debut without scoring a try.
How he held on to that ball, I'll never know as well. Like he was like holding it whilst 3 blokes were on him.
Out of all the outcomes, to keep the ball, to keep possession and not score, I was like, how the fuck's he done that? Like,
it's more impressive. And like even he made a little half break with a little flick pass. Like, man, talk about talent. Like they got a special talent on their hands, the Melbourne Storm. And with that system as well, like, wow, absolutely outstanding. Yeah, like there's just so many. Like, you know, you've got Jack Howarth on the other side. Howarth looked like fucking prime GI. He was killing
really
it.
good job. Really
Obviously
good
not the
job.
style of player GI is, but what I'm saying is he was so physically strong. Every time he ran the ball, he was just bending the line like 4 to 5 meters. Outstanding performance.
He didn't score off it, but that early play where he sort of went in and away on Kelly, and he ended up dropping the ball. They scrambled well to stop it, but that was just, it looked so effortless. He just moved so well.
Such a big boy as well, far out. Like the Storm, just Ryan, and I said it before the game. It's like, you know, you got to try to separate administration from the playing group. Like the playing group didn't have anything to do with, you know, what was going on off the field in the off season. But like they just reminded people like they are just a ruthless organisation across the board. Like big game arrives, and I know they've lost 2 grand finals in a row. Listen, you do realise you've got to win other big games to get to a grand final. Like just because they didn't win a grand final against those 2 sides, but yeah, big round 1 arrives, and they just always deliver. Like it's just incredible. Like you just think that surely, what is it, 24 years now? Surely 1 year they rock up. Surely 1 year they rock up and they're just off.
Yeah, I know. And even, you know, the other guy that was really good for Melbourne, and I'll disclose my bias because I actually played footy with him, but Davey Mawali, he was good last night. I'm keen to see how he goes down in Melbourne. He used to come 3rd in the fitness at South behind Cookie and Murray. He's got a massive engine, but we never really saw that at South. He was never really used like that. So
That's
I think
crazy.
him down at Melbourne, you know, in their system, they're sort of known for their conditioning and what they can do. I'm keen to see how he's only there for 12 months before he goes to Manly, but I'm keen to see how he comes out this year.
Mate, Lasardi, outstanding. Kamakamitha, I thought he was quite good. Stefano I think he's the most meters he's ever run in a game, 239 meters, 89 post contact, 6 tackle breaks.
A lot of it would have come from that break as well.
Mate, the big fella just absolutely moving. Like in 50 minutes, 239 meters. That's outstanding. 19 runs. Like,
I thought the first 20, 25, the big 3 kept him in the game. And I was like, these young guys are being carried by the big 3 right now. And then they kind of just flicked a switch, and then all the young guns just decided to kill it. It just, like, there was a moment in the game where it all kind of changed. And by the end of the game, they were all just playing as one. It was impressive.
I got to be honest, like, I'm trying to think, like, when was the last time we saw, like, to your point, when was the last time we saw multiple of Melbourne Storm's forward pack dominate like that?
Yeah.
Like, because usually you look at the stat sheet and their forwards are like 100 meters each. They're there to defend really well. They're there to lay certain lines. Like, I'm trying to think the last time I looked at 2 edge back rowers with over 100 meters, a front row with 230 meters, Kamakamitha with 150. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw a Storm forward pack be that aggressive and that dominant.
And I think they were sort of the main talking point leading in, weren't they? Like, yeah, I was really impressed with how they were sort of able to get it together. Like, early on, one of the commentators made the point, Munster was, you know, this is in the first 10 minutes, throwing his hands in the air a lot, sort of going, where the fuck is everyone? So for them to just shift gears so quickly and just look like they'd been playing a full season together was unbelievable.
Speaking of Munster, he's a joke, bro. Like, he is truly like the definition of a joker card on the field, because every time he gets the ball, you don't know what's happening.
He does shit with his body sometimes. There was one when he was running, he was attacking the line, and they were up by like 1,000 already. But he sort of like moved his head funny and did like a bit of a goosey, but also it wasn't a full goosey. It's just like, this guy's just unbelievable.
Mate, like, he's just, like, and there were kind of talks a little bit that they might be, you know, he might be going to Perth and the Storm might be looking to potentially move in a different direction. And then he comes out and has a performance like that. It's just like far out. He is still an absolute weapon on the footy field.
I think, you know, Melbourne's always a chance of winning a comp, and I'm sure like he's pretty adamant he'd want to win one before he's done. But I think there is going to be a world where we look back in 10 years' time, and it just speaks to how strong the quality of opposition was throughout this period, that Melbourne have not won a title in the last 4 or 5 years. Like, you think about how good they have been. Like, for him to have not won a comp since 2020 is insane.
Yeah.
With what he's capable of, and Grant and Hughes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if they don't win a comp together as a spine, now I know it's a bit different because obviously Hughes and Munster and Pappy obviously was there, and Grant with Smith. But like without Smith.
Grant wasn't there. He was at the Tigers.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Grant.
Yeah, Grant hasn't won one yet. Which is interesting. Yeah.
So like, if they don't win a premiership, it might be the greatest ever spine not to win a premiership.
Yeah, I'd struggle to find someone, especially given they've played together. Like you might find one-off years where guys have come together, but and people would disagree with me here, but I don't think you could argue that they've fumbled any of the grand finals. Like even people would go, "Oh, that Reece Walsh play." Like, have you ever seen a play like that before, where he stopped that try? Like, it's unbelievable that they haven't won one of the last two. Like,
it's like, I just, it's great when they get flowing. They are unstoppable. Like, how do you like? You can create as much systems as you want to defend, like systems and like out the back plays, but like, how do you create a system aside from slowing the ruck down to deal with Harry Grant, Cam Munster, and Hughes and Fa'alongo through the middle? Like, what system does that?
When the middle's dominating.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. The only way you stop that is by dominating the ruck. But even then, they'll still find a way to, like, Harry Grant will pick his moment correctly at one point.
But yeah, you slow the ruck enough against them, refs will just ping you for 6 again. You get more tired. It's harder to slow the ruck. Eventually, they just blow through you. You know,
it's just far out. I thought Fa'alongo was like a really mature performance. Like he looked dangerous, but he wasn't taking too many risks. Looked good out the back. I mean, I'm just blown away by how freaking good they looked. And I know, the ref was poor, and that definitely helped them to a degree, but they still looked fucking good. They still looked bloody good.
To have blown them away like that, like if they'd won the game by 20 points, you probably sit there, people talk about the refs and, they were too good, but the refs, mate, like, it was fucking 50 points. Like
now, speaking of the other side, the Eels, like, spoke a little bit about it before, but what a wake-up call. Holy shit. Like, they looked... I can't believe that second half. Like, they just switched off. Like, they just... Almost like they haven't had enough. Like, I think Riles handled it perfectly by saying, well, it's a good word as well, is a schooner of... what do you say? A schooner of...
Schooner of reality.
Which is a great metaphor. I like that. But it's true. It is... That is a reality check for them. Like, they've been getting all these compliments and... I'm been guilty of it. Like, and look, they still deserve the compliments. It's just one game, but that's how ruthless the NRL is. You come in not switched on for one game, you're getting fucking pumped, and like especially the second half. The first half I'm a bit less, but the second half, like honestly, the Jersey deserved better than that. That was poor.
Yeah, I'm keen to know what you think too, because what I find difficult, like Junior Paulo, he threw an offload at one point where he was sort of falling backwards. His hand was facing the opposite goal line. Like it was never going to work. Dropped the ball. Storm got another chance to attack. At one point, they were in good ball attacking. Hopgood threw an offload that went to ground. Storm ended up with the ball. It was like tackle 3. What's hard about that, like you can look at a few of those isolated examples and go, fuck, that's so dumb. But that's also what makes someone like a Hopgood or a Paulo so good. And when they made the grand final in 2022, they were playing that brand where they were finding that balance between we complete high, we do kick to corners, but when it's on, we find those offloads and we sort of cut teams up. You saw Moses making a lot of breaks and Gutho at the time through the middle. I think they're going to struggle to find that balance. And if they can, I still think they're going to be a side that pushes for the 8 and has a good year. But after a game like that, it's going to be hard not to clip the wings of those guys and go, hey, just hold the fucking ball. You know?
I felt like they did that last year. Like that's what's weird is like, I don't know why... Like you've got to earn the right to do that stuff, and 100%. They didn't. Like why are you throwing an offload when your completion rate is like 65%? You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. Earn the right, get to a point where you've completed the last 4 or 5 sets, and then if the opportunity is there, take it. Whereas like trying to force it when you already have been terrible with completion rate, that's what I just don't get, and I don't think Riles would be asking for that either.
It was very not Jason Riles, and like a couple of examples of that. Every time Katonga touched the ball, especially in good ball, he looked very dangerous. He got a few offloads away early that weren't mistakes, that were positive offloads. So rather than like getting to a point where they can then sort of set him up, which is what like good sides do against good sides, is they're willing to be patient and sort of take their time. They weren't doing that. And, they ran the ball on last early a few times and they almost scored and looked dangerous. And you could argue, but like top 4 sides, they just don't do that. No. Like they play the percentages. So I think they need to find more of what we sort of expect from a Jason Riles, or it's ironic to be saying it, but from more of a Melbourne Storm side. Like no one could run the ball on last better than Harry Grant or Hughes or Munster, but they don't do it that often because that's not the play that's going to get you in the top 4 or get you at the back end.
Again, I hate to say it, but it looked like a team that had gotten a little bit ahead of themselves. Like that's what you do when you think it's going to come easy and you offload and we're just such a good team now and we can do this. Like that style they were trying to play, you've got to build into that. That's got to be the end result in round 20, 21. Like you can only do those risky things when you've had a whole season to get your timing absolutely pinpoint perfection. And so they were trying to play round 20 footy in round 1. Whereas like Storm, initially, they were very, very conservative through the middle. Just get through your sets, just try and win the ruck. That's their main focus, is win the ruck and just get quick play the balls. Everything else will come later. And so that's where I just think the Eels, they probably just were so, they had such big wins at the back end last year and things have been going so well. I just think, they got a little bit ahead of themselves, unfortunately.
And sorry, just also when we spoke before, in that first 10, 15 minutes, when that Melbourne were a bit clunky and sort of trying to find themselves a bit, they didn't overplay their hand. And that sort of speaks to the experience of Munster and Hughes. Like, Matty, you said that they sort of kept them in the game for that first 15 minutes. Absolutely, they did. And when it wasn't on, and a couple of times Sewer wasn't where Munster thought he would be, and a few examples like that, he'd just drop a back row under or just park
calm
it,
everything down.
just calm it down. Yeah. So
like in the first 20 minutes, I think their play the ball speed was like 3.3 seconds average, which is like pretty good for an NRL game.
Yeah.
So their focus was just like, let's just win the ruck. We don't need to don't worry about scoring points. We've got the people to do it, similar to what the Eels do. So, look, tough lesson for the Eels, really tough lesson. I'm willing to just, I wouldn't sit there and read too much into it just yet. It's just they just had a terrible night at the office.
Yeah.
Everything that could go wrong nearly did go wrong for them. I'm just interested to see them over the next month, though, because it's definitely a wake-up call. There's no denying that.
And this is blunt, but like, seen a lot of content, obviously, overnight about people going, 50 points, lying through them. When you haven't won a comp in 40 years and it's round 1, I don't think it's going to move the needle any. Like, I don't think you're any less or more likely.
That 50-point stat, I don't get it because like it doesn't.
The Knights won the comp in 2001. They conceded 49. It's just
the weirdest stat because it's like,
I mean.
But it's like only one team wins the comp. So like, there can be 14 other teams that get 50 point up. You know what I mean? Like
that's right.
It's a weird stat. I never understood that whole, if you get 50, you can't win the comp.
In 2021, South were in the grand final. They got 50 put on them twice that year.
Yeah, I just, it's just a weird,
It's just a funny thing people bring up.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because I was like, do you reckon South got in the grand final and said, oh, fuck, do you remember when we got beaten 50 right. points? Like, it's a weird stuff. Anyway, so hopefully just put a line through it. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And I guess we'll go from there. Don't forget, guys, Aspley Mazda, the X rental sale. Buy a CX3 or CX5 X1 X rental, and you have a chance to be gifted a day in a suite with myself, Alex Glendraye, and myself, Alex Glendraye, and Luke Camilleri. He'll also be there hosting it. Give him a message, LDC_01. The best in the business. If you need a car, give him a message. Mate, what are your thoughts on Vegas? Have you been across to Vegas at all?
I have not made my debut in Sin City.
Okay.
Have you not yet? No, but how'd you go over there?
Mate, just all there for business. All there for business. It's always good. Like the energy's good in that. I do think they need to change it going forward. Like one more year, I'll be understanding because there's more teams that need to go. But anything over that, I reckon they should go to another city.
You've been a couple times now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you seen it grow being there in person? Like the optics for me watching it, it seemed huge. And obviously content, you can make things look huge sometimes.
No, it's definitely big. Like you see people in the jersey and everything like that. Like big for Vegas, I'm not sure because like Vegas gets worldwide things.
Yeah.
But you can see jerseys everywhere. The Fan Fest Day is freaking massive, like crazy.
Looks huge, yeah.
But yeah, how's the top squad going, mate? Is that still chugging along?
Yeah, we're chipping away, mate.
Lost the locker room at all or no?
No. Still got the playing group. Obviously, battled through one of the reddest eyes in history for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. How'd you go there? Did you get a few people trying to fucking knife you?
Yeah. A few people sort of trying to accuse it of being a different colour, and we just parked that very quickly. That's not happening. It's red eye, obviously.
So it wasn't pink eye?
No. As I say, that's what people say. It's just like, no. And obviously, I'm not bothered by it. Like, I don't care. It's just red eye. Everyone relax. But battled through that. Still got our way through.
A lot of bands though. Did you respect the bands coming out?
You got to respect the bands.
Yeah.
You got to take your medicine sometimes. That's exactly what had to do it with the red eye. Also had to do it last night. I can't tell you how excited I was for Para. Like I was sitting there. I actually said to him, I'm going to come clean here. I haven't said this to anyone. I turned to my mate after they scored that first try, and I said to him, Para 19 plus.
19 plus. Holy
I swear
shit.
to God. I swear to God. I turned to him, we're watching it, we're having a feed. I turned to him as if like, I'm the new guy school. I was like, yeah, para 19+, and it was just a disaster.
Are you concerned there might be a bit of a mutiny because you've shown your footy knowledge is fucking terrible?
Oh, it was the worst. Like, it was the worst 15 minutes of my life where I was just like watching them sort of lose a game, and then it's at 18-4, and part of you still going,
okay, try they're back in it here. Yeah.
They can fight this back, and then it just absolutely fell apart. So, yeah, like to answer your question, said to the top squad straight away, take our medicine here. Age like a day of dicks, like that is what it is.
So the top squad went with you. Like, did they have to go with you with your bad
I
tips?
let them know. I sent them a little message just to fire them up before Thursday, because Thursday is one of the shittest days of the week, respectfully. Or it can be if you don't sort of front foot it.
Okay.
And that's
you don't have a bit of momentum going into Thursday.
Yeah, because Thursday can ambush you. And that's why I sort of said to them early doors, I was like, hey, remember, footy's back tonight. It's going to be a great game. Para's going to break the streak. You heard it here first. That was sort of like the sentiments of the message.
Yeah, okay.
Not how it played out.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Are you getting a bit concerned that they're getting a bit too comfortable and throwing banter at you? Because you are the coach. You still need that line of respect.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pull some people in the line, but you just sort of take that as it comes. There's been a few messages I've been having to do at the moment. There's a few Oztag state cups and grand finals and things going on. And I always say to them at the end of it, let me know how you go.
Yeah.
There's been W's rolling in, which is nice. Because sometimes we go through a period where I go, let me know how you go. And I've given them this little pep message. And then we got beaten 10-2.
And you're like, up.
Shouldn't have sent you the video. But no, look, it's going well.
Yeah, okay.
Early days.
You can join the Tommy Yeager on Instagram. That's how you join the top squad?
That's how you join the top squad. Okay. Yeah. And we'll build towards September.
All right, guys, do not forget, streaming tonight, myself and Hectic Fred, Broncos v Panthers. Come watch me glaze the fuck out of the boys, or crash out. Hopefully not crash out. Mate, look, we've spoken ad nauseum about the Lomax thing. We haven't heard your thoughts on the Lomax situation, mate. I'd love to get your thoughts on the Lomax situation.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't like that there's a certain segment of people that are pushing the narrative that it's like a massive kick in the dick to rugby league if he goes and plays union now.
Yeah, I don't get that whole.
Like we all agree that in an ideal world, it wouldn't have played out how it did. He would still be playing in our game. He's a freak. Like we've spoken about this at length before. I just think it's unfortunate, but I think it's sort of played out how it should have.
Yeah.
After what has happened, obviously. So it's hard to know. I think this won't go away because there's a world where he's sort of back pretty quick, whether it be with another club or.
You know what's weird is like if you're a union club, and look, without being rude, but like, union beggars can't be choosers in the sense of like, not the Wallabies guys. The Wallabies are not necessarily stacked, but like he would struggle to get in the Wallabies. However, there are a lot of club teams, Super Rugby right now is not in the best shape. However, like if I'm a rugby union side, do you want to pay a guy pretty big bucks, relatively speaking, to other people in your rugby union club after he's done this much to not come and play union, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's such a weird relationship that we've got between the two codes too, because even like, he'll get so dirty on Suoliti because of the money he's on.
Mm.
They use him as a lead runner. He's the most expensive lead runner in the history of both codes.
Yeah.
But then they get dirty on him like he's not worth the money that they're paying him, but like you're using him how you're using him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it'll be interesting to see if Lomax does play. Like I want to see him do well, and
I actually think he'd do quite good at union, if I'm being honest, because he's such an athlete. He's such a freak athlete.
Just kick cross field to him. And
and he's big, he's powerful. But yeah, I just think if you're a rugby club, because he wanted to go to Rugby 360, that obviously fell through.
Mm.
Then he's gone this hard to go, no, I don't want, like, because there was offers on the table to go to rugby.
You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Yeah, and then he's gone, nah, I so don't want to do that. I'm willing to go through a court case to go to Storm. And so, would it feel a bit weird if you were, now you're going, oh, no, we want you to come to rugby. I know, like, at the end of the day, people forget pretty quickly, but I don't know. If you were in a squad, in a rugby squad, a super rugby squad, and he rocks up, I'd probably feel a little bit weird initially.
Yeah, and also, how would that be a loss to rugby league? If he literally ended up in the Supreme Court to try and not play rugby union and play rugby league.
Yeah, that's what I find a bit strange. Now, granted, we all forget things quickly, the news cycle and everything.
Yeah.
I think, like, look, the thing that frustrates me is, like, there's some people that they think just because you're, like, think the Eels have done the right thing, that you don't want Lomax back in the NRL. Like, every normal human being that isn't fucking going way too hard at this wants Lomax back in rugby league. Like, not every normal human being, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, like, yes, is it bad to break a contract, especially with a club that has been quite accommodating of what you need? Yeah, it's not good, but like it's not the end of the world either. Like,
No. And a few different people have tried to bring up all these other examples of players that have done this and that. The difference in all of those is that none of them had signed that separate agreement that he did. And I like, you say this and people go, oh, what do you mean? But I also do feel for him because I think he's literally ended up in the worst possible spot out of what it could have been. People talk about if he's been ill-advised or whatever. I just want to see it. I want to see him playing footy the sooner the better, whether that be league or union. I feel like that'll sort of be a nice little segue where we can sort of move on from this. He can then try and explore negotiations sort of a bit more out of the spotlight, whether it be with Melbourne again or with another club.
Man, I'd love to see him at, and this is just me selfishly speaking, but like a lower tier club that is desperate for an incredible player like him that has, you know, excess front rows or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I keep thinking about the Warriors move. Like, I know he probably won't do that. And, you know, I will be really clear, like, he shouldn't have to go to the Warriors. Like, I'm not sitting here saying the NRL should be like, mate, you have to be at the Warriors or, you know. But I'd actually love that. I think it'd be a great story. I think it'd be a great get for the Warriors.
You saying like swap with Barnett?
So Barnett comes to the Eels, he goes to Warriors.
Would that happen? Because it sounds like it's on compassionate grounds. You'd imagine whatever that means, that the sooner the better. Could we see that happen sooner potentially then if he gets around that?
If you're the Warriors, do you really want to lose Barnett this year?
Of course not.
I don't think so.
Absolutely not. But again, depends what. What
the other one for 27 is Burton potentially. Burton for.
But the Warriors could still say, we'll still have Lomax now. That you just get Barnett next year. They can work that out. It doesn't have to be, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like as in we'll take Lomax now, but we'll give you Barnett next year.
And we'll pay a transfer fee now or something.
Yeah, and then you eventually get Barnett.
To be honest, I reckon the Eels would just take the Barnett is so good. I reckon the Eels would just go, mate, just give us Barnett.
Yeah,
and also
course.
they win the PR battle then too. If they come out and just go, no, don't worry about the transfer fee, just give us Barnett. It makes them look like, no, they truly were just in this for a player. Like, this is not, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're being the good blokes about this. It never was about money. Now, obviously, the Ryan Madison trade or whatever, like, I want to be clear, regardless of what you think about whether Madison should or shouldn't have taken the deal, he has no obligation to take any deal, and any implication written by anyone that it's his fault is outrageous behaviour.
Yeah, I read one before. It's ridiculous. I mean, sorry. Like, yeah, it's a game. They're not fucking chess pieces. Like, you can't expect a bloke, and it sounds like from what he said, if you take Matto on his word, he was given like 12 hours, like, hey, do you want to move to Melbourne for 2 years or 1 year? Like, that's a big call to make. You know, whether you got a partner, kids, whether you're on your own, whatever your situation is, that is such a big deal. It's
been whispered for a while, so I'd be interested to know, like, because he said he hasn't been officially approached. I'd be interested to know, like, how much did he not caught wind, and did the club deny it, not deny it, whatever?
Yeah.
But look, even if the Storm said here's a 20-year deal, $1 billion a year, Madison doesn't have to fucking take that shit. What are we talking about here?
No, that's right.
And so, like, this very weird angle of, like, almost, and what's weird is, like, I don't know who benefits from this being released. So for example, on the Storm side, reportedly their player that they offered got suppressed. Now, since then, names have come out, but I'm like, who does it benefit? Like, it doesn't make the Eels look great if they look like they're trying to force Madison to go somewhere he doesn't want to go. But so why would they release that information?
Yeah.
So was it the Storm that released this information to make the Eels look bad? Like, I don't know. It's a bit weird. I don't know who would have done that. But
maybe for it to look like they actually got close to an outcome, because they actually ended up getting a lot closer to settling with an outcome where Lomax plays than probably what any of us thought.
Maybe.
So I don't know, but, you know, without, you know, going on about it too much, however you look at it, and they're trying to bring people in and, you know, this guy did this or whatever, it all stems back to that separate agreement that he signed. And I think that the Eels they're well within their right to not get the piss taken out of them. I mean, we saw, like, they've still got a lot of work to do. Like, we saw that last night. So
imagine if he actually had a play.
That's right. Yeah.
They might have won by $1 million.
Oh, I know. And yeah, the other thing that's really annoying to me in this whole thing is when they talk about, they were compensated with, like, the money, because the money is only relevant because they've lost a player. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, it doesn't balance it out that they've actually lost. Like, of course, they want a player more than anything else. Yeah. The money doesn't compensate that.
It does nothing for them. It's not even the cap.
Yeah, you can't use it. So
I hate, you know what, the argument I do hate? Oh, they're fine. Look, they went out and signed a bunch of other players. Hang on a sec. You're telling me that the players that they have signed Like for an equal winger would be Xavier Coates. Are you telling me that they would have signed Brian Kelly over Xavier Coates if they had their way?
Of course not.
Like what? This idea that they ended up using their salary cap, so they got to win there. It's like what?
That's like saying, oh, Penrith lost Cleary. They get to spend $1 million.
Yeah, like what?
Dumbest shit ever.
That's exactly what it's like.
What are we talking about here? It's absolute, and also it doesn't account for the fact that they signed Lomax before he went on his crazy form run at the Dragons. So remember they got him for like unders.
It was a good deal.
It was a good deal.
Absolutely.
So they actually don't have as much money as they probably should have in the cap. That does my head in when I see that. It's like, oh, okay, so they made the best of a bad situation. Therefore, the situation they don't have to be compensated for it. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's actually such a good example because like if Ivan had 1.2 million in cash in his hand but no Cleary, like he wouldn't be sitting there going fucking oath. Like, so where's Cleary? Give me Nathan.
Yeah, like tell me another winger that's on the market right now that they can go out and get of his level.
Yeah,
like, literally no one. Literally no one. So yeah, look, it's all done now and dusted, I guess, with the Storm. I do think that we will see him back in the NRL. I think that this is speculation, guys. I don't know for sure, but I do think like. The reason there's pressure of all this was because he wanted to go to Storm, and Storm wanted him. Like,
yes,
I think now that other clubs know that that's not happening, I think you're going to see much more serious bids to get him to the club.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see too. You know, there's obviously a spot there that'll open up for the Blues if he's not there, but there's also a world, by the sounds of it, that he might get back in time and what that looks like. But
you know, that's an interesting one. Let's say he comes back and kills it. Do you pick him? Because like as a Queenslander, I'd actually. I don't know. My initial reaction is like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. Do you have to earn that right back again?
Well, what do you reckon?
I don't know how I feel.
What do you reckon?
I'm a bit lost. I don't know.
My immediate reaction is no, he has to earn that back again. But
like
he didn't do anything to the state.
Yeah, he's only ever been good for the state.
See,
like
if
it wasn't great.
Not last year, but yeah.
If we won last year, I'd be more quickly to say, nah, you got to earn your spot back. But like, and I know he was there last year, but we were so bad last year.
Yeah,
it's just a clean slate now anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He was so big when Madge got it done, but you know what I mean, like
that penalty goal
was so good,
fucking
man.
unbelievable.
So,
unbelievable.
Yeah, I guess it would depend if you do pick on form,
because by saying I want to go to 360, you are tacitly or not tacitly saying I don't want to play for the Blues. Like I know that I get the reasons why. I get it.
Of course, yeah.
But you are saying that.
It's such an interesting conversation that we've never had to have before because, like, we're talking about like $400 trillion billion. You know what I mean? So it just blows out of proportion. Whereas if it was like, oh, you go on a French rugby, like it's not.
It's 1.5 instead of 1 mil. You know?
Yeah, it's way more comparable. Whereas this stuff, it's like, as everyone tends to say on shows and stuff, you can't fault anyone for saying I'm going. So,
yeah.
I know he wasn't fantastic for the Blues last year, but you could tell how passionate he was in 2024. Like he hasn't screwed over the state at all, in my opinion. So I would have no qualms him being in the Blues team.
Because it's so fresh, I have that reaction. But if I know myself, I know in 10 rounds' time, I'd probably be like, you know what? Water under bridge. He's back playing. Who cares?
Yeah.
And he never did anything like directly to the state.
Yeah.
It's not like he was like, no, I'm going to keep playing NRL, but I'm not going to play for the Blues or whatever, you know? So I probably, by the time we got to Origin, I'd be like, you know what? He's back in. If you forgive him when he's back in, you forgive him fully, bring him back in, it's good to go.
Probably relates sort of to when we were talking about the new Origin rules too. Like, if he's clearly the best option, it makes sense to pick him.
Yep.
Like, it'd be laughable if he was running around on Super Saturday when the Blues are playing because everyone's like, oh, you almost went to 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you what, though, I reckon an absolute schmoky is Macassini. Like, I reckon he is a fucking...
I was looking at that. You reckon they'd throw him in?
I don't know if they will, but like, he's got that Israel Folau vibes about him, and we know what he did when he came into that try that Israel Folau scored.
Oh,
in Origin, was that his debut? Is his debut series? I know that
when he hung in the air for like 50 years,
and then he like put the ball down over his head like backwards.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I don't know if it was his debut series, but I mean, people forget how quick his career was. He only played.
He got so much done in such a short space of time.
This is how good Israel Folau was. At the Broncos in his last year, he was essentially the NRL top try scorer as a centre, and no one talked about it because there was this kind of like mutual agreement of like he's going to AFL. Let's not like hype him up.
Let's not hype him up.
But that's how good he was. Like, he left the NRL as essentially the top try scorer, and no one really talked about it.
He had 4 seasons in the NRL. 4.
And have you got his tries up? How many tries he scored?
73 tries in 91 games.
And a lot of those games would have been at centre as well.
And like that was in an era where there was less points and stuff. Like that was peak
74 tries in what?
Peak wrestle. 73 tries in 91 games.
Bro, that's actually crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
And he would have been like 23 when he left.
So he was born in 1989 and he left in 2010. So yeah, fuck, he was 21 or 22. That's crazy. I thought he was like not a veteran, but like
it felt like it.
Yeah.
You know, so I saw a clip of him a couple of weeks ago where he was playing in Japanese rugby. He scored a try. I'd love to see like a POV, like meta glasses from his point of view, playing over there. Like we know what he's capable of at like the top. He got this offload off like the back of a kick return or something and just went 60 meters. It looks so easy. I just love to know, like, for him, is it like you're playing against just like kids or something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
mate, he's a gun. Like, I was fortunate enough to play outside him at the Broncos. He's just like he's just a gun. He's just a super athlete. And I was actually outside him for under-19s Queensland as well. He's just a super athlete, like absolute super athlete.
He looks really tall. Is he really tall?
Yeah, he'd be about 6'3", I reckon, 6'4".
Far out.
And his vertical leap is like massive for how tall he is. He's just a super athlete, just an absolute super athlete. And also like probably doesn't get enough credit for how like fit he keeps himself. Like sometimes with the guys as talented as him, they can just rest on their laurels and they just kind of like, you know, I'm the man, I'll just score a try here or there. He actually, most games that he played, would have a relatively high work rate and keep himself in really good condition.
He was also like, he was the poster boy for GWS.
Yeah.
Like he was like the face of their club, which is
well,
like...
I remember when it was all happening, like, you know, and it's so long ago now, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me talking about it, but like I remember talking to him about it a lot, and he was so torn because he's like, bro, like I want to stay in rugby league. Like I love rugby league. I'm just getting offered so much money. I've got to think about my family. Like I have to think about... It's not about me anymore. It's about the people around me. It's about the people I love. And that's the decision that, and he didn't break any contracts or anything like that. So it's a different thing. But that's I think, and look, granted, we're talking about millionaires now, but back in those days, bro, they weren't millionaires. Like he got paid $1 million, I'm pretty sure. Bro, back in those days, like the highest paid player would have been like 600K in rugby league, like around there. So we're talking about like truly, truly life-changing money. And so I think that's the pressure on a lot of players. And even if you're a player that's like mid-tier and you're on like 300, 400K and you leave a club to go to another club, like I think it's something about footy players that a lot of fans probably don't take into consideration. Like they don't understand that a lot of these players are from really poor upbringings with no money, and they've got family members that they're trying to help. Like they're trying to send money back home, or they're, you know, transferring money each week to their mum or their dad, or like those are things that come into consideration so much more than you would think. And I think people that come from not much money, like they get it because they understand what it's like to, you know, to not have that much money. So they understand there's almost a sense of community of like, if I earn some money, you earn some money too. And granted, I know that there's like a pushback on that. You know, you should take care of yourself first. I don't agree with that. I actually really admire young men that take care, young men and women that help their families out when they do make a bit of money.
100%.
And like, don't get me wrong, like obviously there are family members that take the piss, and obviously I'm not approving that. But what I'm saying is like, I feel like sometimes in today's society we've been way too caught up in the me, and I get rich and I earned this money, and it's just like, man, if your family is struggling, like send them money, bro. Like that. What are we talking about? This whole no, they didn't do it. It's like you didn't get to where you. I'm not a big believer in like athletes don't get to where they are by themselves. 100%. Someone drove them to training.
Yeah.
Some coach stayed back every afternoon with them when he didn't need to or she didn't need to. You know, some teacher spent extra time. You know what I mean? Like you are a product. Now, granted, some people get more help than others. You know, some people get all the help in the world and some people get a tiny bit of help. But very rarely do you become a professional athlete without someone around you sacrificing to get you to that point.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that too, because I remember when he left the NRL, I would have been like 8. And I remember when it happened, the vibe was not like, oh, he's going because he thinks like AFL's hectic and like he wants to try and learn this new sport. Like it was very much like, this is a life-changing.
Gets paid $1 million. And that's just what we knew about too.
Yeah. And, you know, even the idea that there's not a lot of Pacific Islanders that are running around in AFL, and they're not exactly built to suit that sport. Like they're absolutely made for our sport, as he proved. And obviously he's quite fit, but to go over and make a go of it, not only like he didn't go over to make a go of it, it's like he's our guy.
Yeah.
Never even played before. Like
crazy.
It's insane.
Carmichael went pretty good at it when he went across.
Yeah.
Like when I say pretty good, I mean like obviously compared to other, but like he was a decent, like for a convert, he was a decent player. But both of them, Kay went really good in Union, and obviously Izzy fucking killed it in Union.
Yeah.
Killed it.
He was the best fullback in the world at some point.
Yeah, like
He was keeping Slater out. He was keeping Slater out of the...
Oh, Carmichael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. I meant Folau was the best fullback.
Fullback of Wallabies.
Oh,
from
right.
rugby,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
But yes, that is also a correct point.
Yeah, people forget. Kay used to keep Billy out. Now, I'm not saying that eventually Billy wouldn't have got his jersey back, but that was the case.
It's crazy too, because like, and that's what's so cool about footy sometimes is even seeing Carmichael run around in like Q Cup
Yeah.
the last few years. It's
Yeah.
like the fact that he's still running around playing footy at that level, but he was also keeping Slater out, and like it's not that far apart. You know what I mean? Like it just speaks to how high the level of the game is getting across the board.
When I was in primary school, that was when Carmichael used to like just run it back like a psycho, and like in the schoolyard, the two names that everyone used to yell out were Benji and Carmichael.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, when Carmichael came through the grades, man, he was a star.
Yeah.
Like he was, I won't say Reece Walsh because I believe he is the biggest star we've ever seen in the game when it comes to young guys coming through. But like Carmichael was Benji-esque star power, at least in Queensland. You know, he had the mohawk, he had the big right foot step, he won the premiership in his second or third year. He was a star, okay? He was an absolute star. And his 3-on-2 was a thing of beauty, bro. Like if you think Darbs was good, and don't get me wrong, he was fucking unbelievable, Darius Boyd at 3-on-2. But Carmichael's 3-on-2 was like, bro, like second to none. Just crisp as anything. Because he was basically his number 6 at fullback.
Yeah, he played a bit of 6'2", didn't he?
Yeah,
Different points. Yeah.
Gun player. Fuck, he had everything. He had strength, footwork. Like the only thing he probably didn't have was top speed. That was it. And he still had enough to obviously get the job done. But he had incredible footwork, tough as fuck, would run it straight, but also had the silky ball playing of a number 7.
Yeah, he's also one of the other guys that's played every Australian code.
Yeah, true.
And like and done well. Like even in Union, handy player. Like,
yeah, he was absolutely.
So I just did the maths. Folau was 2 months post his 21st birthday when he signed with GWS.
21st birthday.
That is mind blowing.
Did he debut at like?
Well, it was his 4th season, so 4. He must have debuted at 17.
Yeah, he debuted really young. I think his debut year was the only one to maybe beat Billy Slater's first year of tries or something like that. This is the thing, like, and this is no knock on Lomax, but like, bro, if we can stand losing guys like Israel Folau as a 21-year-old, that would be like losing Reece Walsh almost. Now.
Yeah.
Or a year ago.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about a guy that was playing Origin.
It would be likely losing Walsh.
100%.
I reckon.
Like that is a big deal. Like,
and also like again at the time, I remember it was sort of spoken about like it was this huge get for AFL, but the money they were paying him relative, it's like it's almost a spit in your face if he doesn't. Like it's so disproportionate in terms of how life changing.
The pressure. Yeah, as I said, I had a lot of conversations with just him venting about the situation when it was all happening, and this was just a young man. Think about that, 21 years old, with that amount of pressure being put on him, saying like, I love this game of rugby league, but I've got a family that, you know, has moved heaven and earth to give me what I've got.
Yeah.
And he makes, you know, I know, like we're talking about millions of dollars, so like they're lucky people, guys. I'm not sitting there going, oh, poo, the fucking poor millionaires. But it's a big decision for a young man to make, man. Like, fuck.
I'm interested, Kempy, like your insight there at training, because I've heard other blokes who played NRL and they talk about that sort of feeling of we all take unders, especially around that era.
Yeah.
Right? At training situation like that, whether it be with Carmichael or Izzy, where those chats are going on, is it almost like it's not a thing? Like, how much is it coming up at training or in and around training?
It comes up as banter.
Right.
Like, like Izzy will be coming in and be like, cashed up, bro. You got coffees, like that kind of banter.
That sort of stuff, yeah.
Which is just nothing. But like with the Izzy situation, like I think you'd be surprised at how many players will be like, mate, just do what's best for you. Because every player knows players get moved on all the fucking time.
Yeah, of course.
Now, that's a different conversation to breaking mid-contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like if it's a different convo if like it's many, many years. I don't like bringing it up because like he's improved his life so much and he's like an icon and he was at the time. But like, I'm sure like when Sonny walked out of the Doggies, that's a different conversation. And I know that's a very dramatic, extreme version.
Yes.
That's different to he was coming off contract and got offered fucking, or even like he left 6 months early or something like that. That's different to, a guy that is coming off contract and takes a fucking massive deal. Like there was no one, at least to I remember, everyone was just like, bro, I get it.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
but
I get it.
Are you like yarning about, like, say, like when you were talking about going to the wires or whatever, like when you're like in the car with the boys or something after, like, are you sort of talking through it, like trying to
not necessarily figures, like
not figures,
nah,
but more like when you're trying to figure out what your next step is. Like,
yeah, kinda like you're closer, mate. It's not the wider team.
No,
but
yeah.
You might be just saying like, this is what the Broncos said to me, and like they said that I'm going to be, I'm the third string winger, and I feel like I'm a first grader. It's not really even about money. Honestly, it's changed now, but I know this is back in my day kind of stuff. But at least when I was coming through from 18 to like maybe 23, 24, maybe even later, you weren't even thinking about money, bro. It wasn't a cultural thing for young men because all you started thinking about when you're a bit older, understandably so, you've got a family, got to make as much money as you can.
Yeah.
But when I was coming through, like you weren't thinking of money at all. All you were thinking of was, how can I play first grade for my favourite team?
Yeah.
That's all you're thinking of. And I'm not sitting here going, see, back in my day, we were all about loyalty or that. I'm not saying that. It's just different. Culture has shifted since then. Like we know way more. The game has become way more professional. It's way more business orientated, where the lesson a lot of young kids get is get your money while you can because no one's loyal. Whereas there was at least a myth around loyalty. And granted, like when I was coming through, I was learning off people that were taking pay cuts.
Yeah.
Like the culture that was set was by guys like Lockie, Webke, Petro, Thorny, Hodjo, all these guys that were, I mean, the famous story with Hodjo, he left the Roosters and there was a big drama because people were taking pay cuts and he got the bigger deal and all that kind of stuff, ended up coming home and being all good. But that was the culture that was set, whereas I think the culture has shifted. Now, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing because, like, there are a lot of good things, like, where good on you, mate. Go get your money. You were smart to take that deal when you took it. Even me, like, I was loyal and believed what I was being told. You could argue it hurt my career. Maybe I should have been harsher in negotiations. Maybe I should have demanded more. Maybe I should have not just gone straight to the coach and just accepted his word. Maybe I should have gone to market. I don't know. Like I could have been smarter about things, but it's just a different culture back then.
It's just interesting to hear you say that because like what triggered my curiosity then was I was reading a thing about Junior Pauly the other day saying he wants to stay at Para. And he sort of spoke about why he'd want to stay at Para and then sort of said, but that's for like my manager and the club to sort of talk about. Like he sounded so far removed from it.
Yeah.
Like footy's just what he needs to worry about. And
which is smart because that's supposed to be their profession.
Yeah.
It's like, not being a lawyer and writing up your own contract. It's like, bro, that's not what you're good at. You're good at rugby league. Allow the manager to do his thing because unfortunately, and it's changed, but business is business. And what happens is players, let's say a player is going to represent himself. A player goes in there and he's got all of these human emotions about loyalty and bleeding for your brothers and putting your... Because every week a player crosses the line for an NRL club, he's putting his body on the line. Literally his life on the line. I know that's an extreme example, but it's true. When you play in the NRL, that's the risk you take. Whereas like the people in administration, they're not putting their body on the line every... So their mindset's different. They're going, I'm running a business... The player's going, I'm bleeding for my brothers. So if you go into a negotiation and one guy's willing to die for his brothers, I know I'm being extreme, and the other guy's going, I'm thinking purely business and facts and numbers and like you've got two different ways that you're negotiating right now. This guy can lean on the loyalty. He can lean on the fact that you're willing to do anything for the boys and whereas like if you've got a manager, he's also thinking the same way the businessman's thinking.
He's not in the group. He's
not in the mindset. And that's the weird thing about sport is like, and why you hear so many stories about young players about getting stuffed around or whatever it is, because clubs lean on that shit all the fucking... I mean, bro, after my first year, I've told the story a million times, hit that fast forward button you don't want to hear. After my first year, made my debut, played 4 games of first grade. I was 19 years old, turning 20. So young as shit, playing fullback as well. And... at the time, ran for the most metres of a debutant in the modern era of rugby league. Was 200 plus, scored a try, all that good stuff. And I literally got told, please sign for less, so 50K minimum. And I promise you, if you sign for less, you will start the year next year on the wing. So I say, me going, all I want to do is play for this club. I love it so much. And like, yeah, of course I'll take less. Look at all these top dogs taking less. I'll do that. No, that's not even a question.
Yeah. Then
next year rolls around, I didn't start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and what happened then? I walked into the office. I said, bro, I signed a smaller contract when I was a fullback, the debut as well as I did. I could have got double that, probably like nearly even triple maybe if I had gone aggressive on it. But again, I was young. I'm not thinking about money. All I'm thinking about, when I went in and spoke to Wayne about that, I didn't even mention the money. All I cared about was playing first grade.
Yeah.
That was my mindset is I don't care about how much you pay me. I just want to play for the Broncos. And he just said, oh, did I say that? And I'm like, yeah, you said that. And he's like, sorry.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that was it. That was my recourse. Like there was And then the contracts after that was always like, mate, look, we're stuffed in the salary cap. Look, take this 1 year deal minimum again. But there's going to be more. There's more money in the cap next year. And as always, the can was always kicked down the road.
Yeah,
we don't have any money. And then like, even funnily enough, like, so when I agreed to the Warriors, hadn't signed the contract yet, and then the same club that told me I was third string winger plus there's no money in the cap, you've got to take minimum. Within 2 weeks, all of a sudden they had all this money in the cap and they wanted to keep me. They wanted to keep me before that, but on a low tier contract.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, all of a sudden they have enough money to pay me what I'm worth.
Well, professional sport's the only place that happen because it's like because like you said, business is business. So a lot of the stuff that you're saying that happens in any negotiation anywhere. But it's like if you're working in like a more traditional career, they couldn't turn around and be like, bro, just take unders because you fucking love this place.
Yeah, it's like
you love the secretary, bro. Like just take unders. They just wouldn't. How about
no?
Fly.
How about paying me what I'm worth, kind of thing. So, and also it's different as well. Like you've got so much more protections in a normal job. Like they can't just go, we're going to make you feel like shit until you leave. Like you've got a lot more protections and stuff. Anyway, all right. That's us done and dusted, guys. Join. Don't forget, sign up to MberX. Link in the show notes. We're going to draw $1,000 next week. It's a tipping comp, bloke tipping. You can tip against me, Shandor Earl, and René My Tour. Anything else, Matty? Stream tonight. Guys. Be there. I'll be with Hectic Fred, Broncos v Panthers. And as usual, give Tommy Bomb a follow. As usual, we'll go fuck ourselves. Thank you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.